wives.
Oh. But yeah, I know where you're coming from, but I'll tell you, no witnesses. I was telling you why. No witnesses are prejudiced to.
But the religion was built up on prejudice.
Was it?
Because again, I've just shown you. Your website shows a white image of Jesus, and you tell me, "Oh, I'm so hung up on Jesus being black." No, I'm hung up on the truth. I care about the truth.
Yeah.
I don't care about I don't care how people feel about certain things. That's fine. You can believe what you want to believe. The truth is still gonna stand. The truth is Jesus had skin like burnt brass, which gives you a dark melanin man with woolly hair. That's an afro hair. So he would be a black man today, whether you like it or not. That's the truth. You can say it's symbolic. That's fine. Well, where do we get the white image from? It's nowhere in the Bible. Now, I want to touch on John, the Samaritan woman. I believe you believe she was a Gentile.
What's that? The what?
This Samaritan woman, because you brought her up just now. Do you believe she was an Israelite?
She was a Samaritan.
But the Samaritans, are there Israelites?
Woman.
Yeah, but are there Israelites?
They parted, didn't they? They were enemies at one stage.
But are there Israelites?
No Jewish spoke to her.
Yes, that's due to the split that happened in the kingdom. But Jews is only 3 tribes. The rest became Israel. Now I'm asking you, the Samaritan woman specifically, is she an Israelite? Or was she not an Israelite? Because you brought her up to make a point.
It was just the story. I wasn't making a point of the woman. I was making a point of the story.
Okay.
So if I was reading a story to a child, with no pictures, no images, would it help the child to get that image?
Understood. Okay.
But you could add to that. Well, you know, say if he wasn't depicted dark. Mm-hmm. You could say, but we don't really know what he looks like. He could be darker than that, or something like that.
But we do know what it looks like. Daniel said it.
No,
John said it. You can say,
look,
and hold on. That's fine. I want to read that the Samaritan woman account. So this is John chapter 4 and verse number 9. Yeah. It says, "Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans." Right? So some people go to this and say, see, the Samaritan woman, she's not an Israelite. But look at the following verse 12. Yeah. It says, she's speaking here. She said, she's speaking to Jesus, "Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle?"
Yeah, she knows about it. So it's split, didn't they?
So she's an Israelite. Yeah. That's my point.
Yeah.
Again, I want to ask you a question. So you believe you're a Jehovah's Witness, right? So what do you do differently from any other people walking around this earth today? Well, how do you please God? Let me ask you this.
How do I please?
Then shall the end come.
Yeah. So before the end comes, there's going to be a great witness given.
Okay, hold on. The question was, what is his will? I don't see anywhere here. It doesn't say that's his will. It just says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." That's not telling me what the will of the Father is.
It says, there is a...
It doesn't even mention will. It just says...
but you've got to connect to there's another scripture, the will of the Father.
Okay, what is the will of the Father?
All sorts of men should be saved.
What verse is that?
I'm not sure. If you... Hang on, I might be able to get a cross-reference to... What was that one then? That was Matthew 24, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Matthew... Sorry, I'm squinting here. 24... I don't know if I can get it on I can get it on my tablet, but maybe not on here. Yeah. And the good news of the kingdom. So this, Matthew 24, is, if you read right through it, it says, "Now Jesus was departing from they were asking him, when will the end going to come? Mm-hmm. When will these things take place?" And he goes through what will happen. There'll be food shortage. It's on about the end of the times, end of the world system, not the world. And then that is part of the sign. That kingdom preaching is part of the sign.
I agree with you, but that's not my question. My question is, what's the will? You said to do his will. I agree. I said, what's the will of the Father?
Yeah.
So you telling me about what's going to come, that's not telling me how to please God. What's his will?
Yeah, well, there is a scripture. It says the will of the Father is to save those who are willing to do what He wants to do.
Let's read this. This is Psalm chapter 40 and verse 8. It says, let me see if you agree with this. It says, I delight to do thy will, O my God, yea, thy law is within my heart. Do you agree with this text? So do you agree the laws of God, that's his will?
The laws?
The will of God.
The will of God is for us to
do his will. Laws. Okay. So now my question is, do you keep the laws of God?
Yeah.
You do?
You do, by your actions and what you say.
I agree with you. Now, what you do. I don't see you with a beard on your face. I don't see you wearing fringes. What's up? If you keep the will of God, see, you don't even heard this, but yet you think you're pleasing God.
I'm sorry, I'm not with you. What do you mean, frills and a beard?
Let me show you. This is Leviticus chapter 20.
Yeah, they're the laws.
Of course, you literally just said it's by being obedient to his laws.
No, the laws, the Jewish law was done away with.
When was it?
Well, you're going back to the old law. Jesus' death did away with all that.
Let me show you something. Let me read this and I'm going to show you.
He's priceless.
Jesus' death, Jesus' death was only for the Israelites. 2, his death was for for the Israelites to then come back into the laws of God by faith. Because back then, it was the Israelites were struggling with actually keeping the commandments by their will. Because, for example, if I'm an Israelite and I know if I sin, all I have to do is give I have to kill a goat to atone for that sin. What do you think the Israelites were doing? They were planning the sins. They would plan to sin and they'll have a goat ready for them to kill it. Jesus came to die so that we have grace to come back onto him, because he didn't come back. He didn't die for us to continue in sin. That's what Paul said, right? Do you agree with Paul?
Sorry, I don't agree that Jesus died for all mankind.
No, he didn't. He died for the Israelites. Let me show you.
John 3:16.
Okay, let's read.
He died for the world.
Shall we read John 3:16 then?
Go on, read
okay. Can you quote John 3:16 for me? Can you quote John 3:16 without reading? I bet you can. Can't you?
No.
Yeah, you can. Because you just said John 3:16, so you know what it says.
I know what it says.
So what does John 3:14 say?
You read that one.
Okay, let's start at verse 14. Let's start at verse 14 for context, right? This is John 3 and verse 14. It says, and as Moses lifted up the serpents in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. My question is, who did Moses lift up the serpent for in the wilderness?
Yeah, to save all those. If they looked at that serpent.
Who was there with Moses?
The Israelites.
The Israelites, right?
Yeah.
So who, in context, who is it speaking?
All that was pointing to the Messiah.
Yeah, I agree, but who is in the wilderness with Moses? I think you're running right now. I'm trying to walk with you. Who was in the wilderness with Moses? You just said it. The Israelites, right?
Yeah.
Now, so in context, who is Moses speaking about here? Who is Christ speaking about here? In context, because he says, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so, meaning the same way, must the Son of Man be lifted up. So who did Moses lift up the serpent for in the wilderness?
The Israelites.
So must the Son of Man be lifted up for?
Yeah, but it's a saving. He saved them.
Let's keep.
Get their life.
Let's keep. I agree with you, but who is it for though? Let's keep reading. Look at this. Verse 15. Verse 15.
You're not connecting other scriptures here.
You're not connecting no scriptures. Come on, man. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Verse 15. It says that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. It says whosoever. So you would say it's talking about everybody, right? Because it says whosoever. Am I right or am I wrong? Would you say it's talking about everybody? That verse when it says whosoever.
Jesus, they all go back to these symbolisms. You know, the sacrifice of the lambs to atone for the sin was all replaced by Jesus' death.
Okay, we're running right now.
It started with the Israelites, for sure. And he went to their house. He said he preached to them first. He told the apostles, don't go to anywhere else. You go to the Jews.
To the lost sheep or the house of Israel.
Jehovah God loved them.
So
he went to them even when they sinned.
You just proved my point. Even Jesus said, don't go to anybody. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So when did they change? When did they change to everybody?
Because they rejected him.
Who rejected him?
The Jews.
Did everyone reject him?
He says, my house, you've abandoned.
Did everybody reject Jesus?
No, but the majority.
So, no, it was just the scribes and the Pharisees, the leaders because they were afraid that Jesus would come and take away their
They
place.
did reject him. They were more responsible to.
Let's read this. This is John. I'm gonna go back to John 3:16 again. This is John 8 and verse 31. It says, then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him,
Yeah.
if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. So there were some Jews that believed on Christ.
Oh yeah, they
Of
did.
course. So let's go
there
back to John 3:16. I still want to ask
They
you
were
this.
all
Verse 15.
mostly from there was thousands. There was quite a big.
There was he had a
conversion,
big following, exactly. So when you say the Jews rejected him,
Well,
it's
they-
like it's irrelevant. Yes,
No,
it was
they were-
prophesied
up
that
to 70 CE, there were still.
it was prophesied that the leaders of the Jews would reject Christ. That was a prophecy. It had to happen this way because God already said it would happen.
Yeah.
Now I want to. You still not answer my question. Verse 15 in John 3, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. That whosoever, you believe it's talking about everybody, right? Right? Because it says whosoever.
Well, it's those whoever comes to know God. And
So
moves in
you
and
mean
do his
but
will.
literally whosoever, like it says. That's what you
And
believe,
it
right?
means any nation.
Okay, that's what you
Every
think.
nation.
But look at this.
Says that.
That's
Every
it
man.
doesn't mean what you think it means,
It
because
says it word
if you
for word.
yes it does,
I
but
wish
when
I
you
could
look at
find
when
it.
you look into prophecy, when you go into prophecy, the Israelites would be scattered into every single nation on earth. In Russia, in Ukraine, in Poland, in Israel, everywhere you go, the Israelites would be in those lands. Why? Because they disobey God's law, so God scattered them. So when Christ said, "Go into all nations and teach all people," He's talking about the people in Israel, the people from the nation of Israel that descend from Jacob. That's the whole reason why He was speaking to I can't remember who it was, to Peter. Where he says, don't go to anybody, don't go to the Gentiles, but go into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. How's it been out of context? You've not shown me what the context is.
No.
Look at this. This is Galatians 4 and verse 4. It says, but when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law. Who was under the law? Who was under the law? What people were under the law?
The Israelites.
The Israelites.
Yeah.
So who did Christ come to redeem?
Well, he came to save the world of mankind.
According to this verse, who did Christ come to redeem?
He came to help.
According to
They
this
were God's
verse.
people.
According to this verse. And God sent a woman made of a woman made under the law to redeem them that were under the law. Who did Christ come to redeem according to this verse?
Why did he come to redeem?
I didn't ask you why. I said who. Who did Christ come to
He
redeem?
came to redeem the Jews initially.
The Jews is only 3 tribes. We're going back to history in the kings, right? There was a split in the kingdom.
He
Jew is
came-
only 3 tribes. The
they-
Israelites make the 12 tribes.
By the time Jesus came, they were the law was. They're abusing the law.
They were.
The law didn't mean anything to them.
They were.
There was the scribes and Pharisees.
I agree with you on
So
that.
they were in a mess basically, and he came to redeem them. He made show them what. Basically, Jesus was a reflection of his Father.
I agree. What
They
did
could
Christ?
see what God was like?
What did Christ say to do about the?
It changed everything when Jesus came.
Look at what Jesus himself said to
Can't
the.
go back to the law.
Okay.
We fulfill the law. We don't need the law. It's written here.
No,
We
it's
just-
not, because you don't have a beard on your face. That's a sin according to the Bible. You're not wearing fringes. That's a sin according to
Some
the
of my
Bible.
brothers have beard.
The Bible says you have to have a man needs to have a beard on his face.
No, that's all. That's
So which law are you talking about then? When you say, look at what Christ said. Look at what Christ said. This is out of
don't
Jesus'
have to
own
have a
mouth.
beard.
That's what
Where
God
does it
said.
say that?
I can show you in a second.
No,
Let me see
yeah,
let me
that's
show you
in
what
the
Christ said,
old
and I'm
law.
gonna show you. But this is what Christ told us to do. Listen to this.
No.
Listen to Christ's word. You believe on Christ, right? Let's listen to what he said. This is Matthew 23 and verse 1. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. What does it mean they sit in Moses' seat?
Well, they supposed to be projecting the law.
Exactly.
Moses
That's right. That's right. So they were the giving of the law. They were the instructors of the laws, right?
Yeah.
So Christ said they sit in Moses' seat.
Yeah.
And look what he said, verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do.
Yeah.
But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Christ is telling us, whatever the scribes and Pharisees tell you to do it. Because they're telling you to do the law.
Yeah, the law. Yeah.
That's my point. So Christ is telling us we have to keep the
Did away
law.
with the law. The Bible says that.
How can you say that when he himself just said it?
I'll tell you what. You need to look under.
I've looked at the law. I've looked at the law.
I'll have to go.
Let me show you the verse that you asked about, the
the other
verse
thing.
about the beard. Let me show you this. Let me show you this, and then you can ask your question. This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse number 27. It says, "Ye shall not round the corners of your head," meaning you can't shave your head bald. "Neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard," meaning you
So
can't
you had
take a
laws.
razor.
They had laws for everything.
It means you
know what
can't.
I mean?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
it's a bug.
Yeah.
They had laws for everything, but the law, what it did, it highlighted the sin. It made it apparent that they
Yeah,
couldn't
so
keep
you
it.
so you have to
Couldn't keep
change it. You have to change
It's
yourself.
done away with.
Who can't keep it?
You can't keep it.
So you're telling me you can't keep the beard on your face?
No.
You can't have. It's impossible
No,
for
the
you to have a beard
Jews-
on your
The
face.
Jews couldn't keep the law perfectly. The only person to keep the law perfectly was Jesus.
So you're telling me no one else kept the
And
law
that's why it
perfectly?
became. Yeah,
Are you
can't.
saying you saying no one else kept the law perfectly?
They couldn't keep the law perfect.
So you're
They
saying no
always
one did?
sinned.
Is that what you're saying? Look at this. Look at this. Is Luke. Are you familiar with John the Baptist's father? This is Luke chapter 1 and verse. Luke chapter 1 and verse 5. It said, "There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abiah, and his wife was of the daughter of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before
Oh, yeah.
God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless." So you can't say Jesus was the only one that kept the law perfectly. Zacharias and his wife, they kept the law perfectly. They were blameless. I want to show you what Jesus Christ actually came to fulfill. This is Luke chapter 24 and verse 44. It says, "And he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me." Christ came to fulfill the things that was written about him. How he would die on the cross, how he would be hung, how he would be hated, how he would be hit with many stripes. Those are the things he came to fulfill. He didn't come to fulfill, "Thou shalt love thy brother as thyself." He didn't come to fulfill, "You shouldn't wear, you should not mar your beard." He didn't fulfill those things. He fulfilled the things that was written about him in the law. So we still have to keep the commandments today, because that's the only way to please God. Because you can't go up there and give God
Well,
a
in
hug.
principle, we do.
What do you mean in principle?
Well, if I.
It's physical. You physically have to do it.
No.
I can't say I want to be a boxer and I sit on my ass all day and I don't go to training and I just eat pizza all day. You can't say you love God or you want to please God and all you say is God knows. Verse number 17. It says, I'm going to start at 16. It says, "And one of you say unto them, Depart in peace, be ye warm and fill, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body. What doth it profit? Even so faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone."
Yeah, work.
Yea, what's the work? What's the work?
You need to find out what God's will is.
We read it. "I delight to do thy will, thy law is within my heart." God's will is his laws. So the work is the laws of God. So listen to this, verse 18. "Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works. I will show thee my faith by my works." So I show you how faithful I am when you see me wearing my fringes, when you see me wearing my beard, when you see me keeping the Sabbath day holy, when you see me not eating pork, shrimp, crabs and lobster, because those are the things God said not to do. I show my faith by doing the things that God told me not to do. That's how you show your faith, because faith without works is dead. But you've got no faith because you're not keeping the commandments.
I'm not. Well, it's pointless.
You're not keeping the commandments. I can see you. It's the Bible says a man shall be known by his looks. I can see you don't keep the commandments because you shave your beard. You say we don't have to do it because it's the Old Testament laws, but that's the same thing Christ said to do. You say you don't have. You didn't even know about fringes. You never heard of this before.
I have. The
Tassels.
scribes and Pharisees lengthened them to make them look good.
Yes, they did. Yeah. And Christ said, "Listen to what the Pharisees tell you, but
So
don't
we
do."
should be doing all the law in the Jewish.
To your best of your ability. Yes.
That's what you believe.
That's what Christ said. I didn't just wake up and just. That's what Christ said. I didn't make anything up.
Yeah. Well, there's other scriptures, but what my weakness, if you like, I don't have very poor recall, so I can't go to scriptures. I have to write them down, or go away, look at some and come back.
I have to do the same. That's why I highlight.
Yeah, well, you've studied very well. We don't often meet people. Same with your wife as well. She was very well accustomed to the
because
Bible.
we wholeheartedly believe in the Bible.
We don't,
and we keep the commandments.
That, you know, we get one or two, but not many. But no, I can't explain because it won't work. So.
I mean, you've not been able to explain anything. Everything you've said, I've gone into the Bible, and it doesn't agree with.
If you go back to Revelations, I can't even remember the chapter, but it speaks of a great crowd which no man was able to number.
Yeah. And who's that talking about?
And that.
I think it's Revelation 7.
Remember, this is at the end. This is at the end of time.
Who's that talking about?
Somebody's got to gather them.
Who's roll and psalms in their and palms in their hands? So. Because it says all nations and kindred and people and tongues, you believe it's talking about everybody?
Yeah.
You believe that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a thing called the Blue Letter Bible? You never heard of it?
Never heard of that. No.
Okay, it's an app. Let me show you. So this is what it looks like. So it's called the Blue Letter Bible. You can have different translation, and you go into it to see the meanings of certain words, right? So I'm gonna go to Revelation 7 and verse 9, and I'm gonna show you something. So look, it gives you all the words and their meaning in Greek, right? Yeah. So let's go to the bit where it says all nation, right? See, it says nation. Let's click on it. Let's see what it says. Nation, it says a multitude, whether of men or of beasts, a company, troop, swarm, a multitude of individuals of the same nature of genus, the same genes, meaning from the same lineage of people. That's why earlier in Revelation here, if you read earlier, it says, and I heard a number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, of the tribes of Judah, 12,000, tribe of Reuben, 12,000. So these are the ruling class in the kingdom. There will be the 144,000 are the rulers.
Yeah.
After the 144,000, now you have the great multitude, which are
over.
Well, Christ is going to be the head ruler, and then the Israelites.
Where are they ruling?
They're going to be ruling earth, ruling all the other nations. All the other nations, apart from Esau. Esau will be destroyed.
There'll be those who are obedient to God.
Yeah, but they're gonna serve the Israelites. Yeah. That's the kingdom. The kingdom is for the Israelites to be the ruling class, for every other nation to serve unto them. Why? Because the Israelites have been going into slavery after slavery after slavery after slavery because of their disobedience. And in the final slavery, God said, I'm gonna scatter you this time to the point where you're not gonna remember who you are anymore. The only people that has happened to are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the Israelites. The people that's gone into slavery on slave ships, the people that are getting killed on the streets, the people that are the last hired, first fired, the people that are called Negroes, the people that are hated on. These people are the children of God. That's why Christ said the last shall be first and the first shall be last. We're the last right now. We're the ones the whole earth looks at and say, these people are, they're drug dealers. They're, they kill each other all the time. We're the people that this is happening to. That's a curse that God put on us. The curse is put on us for us to remember who we are and for us to also live out a punishment because we've been disobeying Him. But now in the last days, we're stuck. No, let me show you. This is Genesis chapter 25.
You're going to tell me my nationality?
Yes. This is Genesis 25 and verse 25. I'm going to start at 22. It says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. This is Rebecca. When she was, she had twins. in a swoon, right? Yeah. It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 25. And the first child came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Notice how they let me keep reading. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 70 years old when she bare them. Notice how they describe what Esau looked like, and they didn't say anything about Jacob, because Esau was the anomaly. Because at one point on earth, every single people were melanated. There was no so-called white people today at that time.
No.
He was the first. Yeah. Esau was the first red man. Yeah. And he's your forefather. Yeah. That's you. So every white people that you see, that's who you descend from.
We have come from the same thing, haven't we? You know,
yeah, we have.
Just developed.
We have, but God separated us. God chose Jacob, and He didn't choose Esau. You guys are Esau. Yeah. You're the Edomites.
Well, look, I'll have to go because I've got another call at the top of the show.
That's fine. It's been good speaking to you.
Yeah. But I'm not going to go into it, but I know for a fact God hasn't cursed anybody.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, your judgment is to serve us in the kingdom. So that's your judgment. Yeah, anyway. Because of all the rape, rob, and murders that your people have done, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know the history's awful, isn't it? It's really bad. Really.
Do you think God's forgotten about that? No. Do you think there's a judgment coming for that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Big time.
Exactly. So you got to prepare yourself. You got to prepare yourself.
Well, that's what we do now. We're keeping busy. We're trying to help people. You know.
How are you helping people? You need to help God's people. You need to tell the Israelites who they really are. That's how you're gonna really help God. You're not helping God by you going to door to people and trying to get people to come to Jehovah's Witness. What are you teaching people in Jehovah's Witness? You're not teaching them the laws of God. Because I've just asked you a few things about the laws and you didn't even know about it.
Yeah, because I have a bad recall, but we go through those laws all the time.
Do you eat pork? Do you eat pork? Do you eat bacon?
Yeah.
So what laws do you go over?
Principle.
What does that mean, you keep the laws in principle?
Well, I won't kill anybody, would I?
Okay,
I shall not kill.
That's in the laws of God, right?
Yeah.
But that's in the Old Testament. Why do you keep that?
It's
you said the Old Testament is done away with, so why do you keep...
It's in here. We develop a conscience by study and knowing what God wants of us.
You clearly don't study, because God said not to eat pork, but you said you eat pork.
Yeah.
But yet you say, I don't kill though. Would you rape someone?
No.
Why won't you? Because the laws of God are done away with.
Yeah, but certain laws were done away.
You see? So you're picking and choosing which one you want to keep.
Where you're coming from, but
you clearly see what I mean. It's in the Bible. You can't say, oh, I don't murder because the law said not to. But then you say, do you eat pork? You say, well, yeah, I eat pork. Well, the laws of God also say not to eat pork. But you say, well, that's done away with. How do you know the pork is done away with and the murderer is not done away with? So you're picking and choosing. You're not sincere. If you really love God, you would keep everything that you see that can apply to you. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to not eat pork. It's not hard to keep a beard on your face. It's not hard to wear fringes. It's not hard to keep the Sabbath day. These things are not hard.
Oh, look that up. That's interesting. I'm going to look that up.
Okay.
All right.
All praises.
All right.
Take care, mate.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care.